The first charter of vintners and wine growers of Jerez came into force on the 12th of August, 1483. Before Columbus, we had a DO. It's 500 years ahead of most regions in the world. My name is Jan Petersen. I'm the managing director and owner of Bodega Rey Fernando de Castilla in Jerez. The Spanish landowners, like the family that owned this company before, they would grow grapes and sometimes make base wines and then sell it to the shippers and exporters. And in between we had hundreds of almacenistas, which were wealthy families that would have 300, 400, 500 barrels of wine and investing in wine because sherry becomes more and more valuable as time goes on. Now most sherry companies will have their own cellars, some have their own vineyards, but there's still 20 something companies that actually export wines. They buy from more than 2,000 wine growers in the area. So there's a lot of wine growers. Very few shippers and very few almacenistas left as well. The family that owned it, a family called Andrada van der Wilde, the oldest contract I have on a batch of wine that was sold by this family to another sherry company is from 1728. The company as such was founded in 1837, and then in the late 1960s, Fernando de van der Wilde, who's the guy I bought it from, he decided to create a brand, like a very prestigious small batch, and actually a brand aimed at the Spanish market. From our vineyard, it comes to Jerez after 1 year of sobre tabla, 1 year of aging in oak butts at the vineyard. Right. Part comes to Jerez and becomes fino, and another part goes to Sanlúcar and becomes manzanilla. So we get the base wine, which normally has around 12% alcohol, and then in January, February, we fortify the wine by adding a small amount of alcohol, wine distillates. And that's technically, the only real difference between sherry and a normal wine is that sort of addition of an amount of wine distillates. The yeast that settles on top of the wine. So you see, it's like a blanket of white yeast that we call flor, which covers the wine completely. I'm not showing you fino from the casks, okay, because you see that floor. Yes. You don't want to upset that. But we'll have a look at an amontillado. So this is oloroso. You see oloroso? I'll show you an example of an extremely old oloroso. So here we have a very old Pedro Jimenez with a rich, natural sugar content of about 500 grams per liter. We only make Reserva and Gran Reserva brandies. So brandies are between 5 and more than 40 years old. Reassuringly expensive, as they say. This cellar was built in 1784. Actually, this was the original cellars of Domecq. I went to Barcelona in 1981. I did an MBA at ESE, and then I started to work for Osborne in 1983. And I worked for Osborne for 16 years, and then we got a managing director in from Bacardi that said, guys, we need to focus. Sherry is a messy business, difficult, not very profitable. Let's skip it. And I thought that was a very sad thing. And then the word got around that Jan is sort of trying to buy something in Jerez, and Fernando de van der Wilde came to me and said, Jan, would you be interested in sort of taking over Fernando de Castilla? So I looked at it and I bought it. 1999. I took in a partner who has vineyards in Jerez, because I believe in vineyards. We bought a second company called José Bustamante in 2001. It was a pure sherry company. So we had more space, more wines, more products to sell, and we've gone from selling about 30,000 bottles in the year 2000 to around 500,000 bottles this year.